what's up, y'all? It's Lee.
I'm Jordan.
And this is the Mind Your Business podcast. Join us weekly to learn how to mind your business.
Or at the very least, be able to tell people how to mind theirs, honey.
Drop the beat.
Boom.
Mind it, hope.
Do what you do, but watch my shoes. Dance with your boo, but you watch my shoes. Used to tear that song up, honey.
Did you?
Oh, yes. You know, at heart, I feel like I'm a dancer.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna think,
I'm just saying,
I love dancing.
Yes.
But like, I don't know what I like. I love dancing to myself.
See.
Like, I don't want nobody to come dance with me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want nobody to come dance behind me. I don't want you to hold my hand while I dance. I don't want you to stare at me while I dance. I just want to be in a mirror. Vibe that.
Okay.
That's me.
I'm like, give me a flow.
Yeah,
Don't give me a flow. That's fine. Give me a piece of grass. Give me a stair. Give me a shoe. I'll dance. Okay? Because I'm ready. That's all.
In is fine.
Hey, y'all.
Hello.
Episode 9.
Oh.
Back to back to back. I'm going to bring it down.
Okay. Episode 9.
Episode 9.
Ooh.
The AudaciTEA, honey.
Baby. The RoyalTEA.
The AudaciTEA.
I've been waiting to say that all day. I don't know why.
Well, either way. So, how are you? Tell us about your week. Start us off with a bang.
Hey, I'm good. I really don't remember this past week, and I don't know. Well, you know what? Because my work days were split between teaching and actual normal work days, so I feel like that's why.
Tell us about teaching, Miss Lee.
Well,
Miss Lee.
pick me. So, we were teaching a class called Sandra Bland for the officers.
Okay.
It teaches them about mental health. The first component, I really don't know what they learn. They learn like the procedural, the laws, all of that. Our part is we teach mental health, teach them about different mental health diagnoses, how to handle de-escalation.
So how do they respond? Because in my head, like Sandra Bland, Prairie View A&M University alumni, it's real close, near and dear to my heart. Like I remember being on campus and they even telling us not to drive through Tomball.
Yeah.
Like how bad it was if we were to get stopped. What places to be in at night and different things like that. And so when she got stopped there and all of the things that transpired after, I was just kind of like, they had always told us not to go there. And so for me, it's a bigger picture on race more than it is on mental health. But I was interested to hear that we taught a class about it. And so I wonder how the officers see it.
So with the class, they do not really allow conversation over race and that part because the class is multiracial and it can cause friction. And that's not why we're there. We're not there for y'all to be arguing because if you're arguing, you're going to be mad the rest of the class. You're not listening. Yeah. So they don't really talk about fault of whose fault it was. I think because we all know whose fault it was.
Do we all?
Yeah. Denial is a thing.
Okay.
Denial is a thing.
As long as we all know.
But the officers usually want you. I find most people tend to be interested in psychology on some level.
Okay.
And I think too because we all know somebody who has mental health issues.
For sure.
Whether it be the officer, whether it be their mother. I actually had a lot of them pull me to the side and say like, I'm dealing with this with my brother. One person told me I just had 3 friends commit suicide this week. I'm having a hard time. Like it was just there was a lot there, and to be able to answer the questions for them, to be able to support them, and most of the classes were very interactive. They gave me their attention, which makes me happy because I want you to learn. And I even had an officer come and tell me, like, hey, after you taught the class yesterday, I'm looking at these inmates different. No, I'm not going to be inmate friendly, but I'm starting to see how what you taught is in place. And it makes me want to deal with them different. And that's all I can ask for. That's really all I can ask for. So I was really
changing lives.
Spreading light.
I mean, so what I found so interesting about it was that it just set you on fire.
I love teaching.
You was like, I just love teaching. I was just like, okay, then let's teach. Let's start these classes. Let's do some seminars, because if you love to do it, baby, I'm behind you. Let's go. And like, I just love like y'all, her eyes lit up. And I was just like, okay, well, let's go. Yeah. Add it to the list of the things we're going to do to set this world on fire in a good way.
Right. Good way. But yeah, so that was cool. That kind of blurred my days up. Other than that, like, my week was really, really, really chill. Like, obviously, because I don't remember anything. Like, nothing out of the ordinary. I think I was just chilling.
Okay.
Made some peace with some things.
Yeah. Peace is good.
Yeah, peace is very good. Made some peace with some things, and I love when I find peace with things. It just allows me, I feel like that tightness in my shoulders and in my chest, that's gone. I'm breathing easier. I find myself kind of doing my little dancey dance as I'm doing the things that I like to do, instead of just being, stiff and lost of tension.
And it's like, it's an important thing to note that, like, when you're going through life, you don't understand that your shoulders are all the way up to your ears. And you're breathing in a shallow manner.
You're clenching your teeth.
Yeah. And you're steady shaking your foot.
Right.
And your mind is constantly racing. But it's hard to say, okay, this is not your ordinary existence. This should not be how you're walking around every day.
Right.
Like, bro, let's bring this back, because what you really should be doing is deep breathing. Stretching them shoulders,
Right.
Flowing through your day. And, it's different when you experience the other side of peace. Because most of the time when things are just content, things are okay, I'm making it. You ask people how
I'm cool.
Yeah, how you doing? I'm making it. It's all right. I'm here. But no, we don't want you to be just here. We want you to be here and living.
Right.
A full, vibrant existence.
Exactly.
Get you some. Okay.
And a lot of people don't realize, like, they are literally like a physical manifestation of tension and stress. Like, you don't understand why you have back pain, why you have constant headaches, why you have joint pain, because you locked up all day. You locked up, you grinding your teeth, that means the headaches. Yeah. You're not sleeping well. All of those things happen when you're stressed and, high tension, got a lot of things, a lot of worry, a lot of anxiety.
Those physical things definitely are a manifestation of your mental state. Not all. I ain't saying all. But I think we do have to start being able to realize and understand that the mind, body, and soul are interconnected.
Right. And when one is off, they all are off.
Come on. Get them chakras together. Or maybe if you don't believe in chakras, get your spirit right.
Get your spirit man together.
Okay.
But yeah, so that was pretty much my week. I went home, saw my mom.
Hey,
Carmine.
Oh, Carmine.
Yeah,
it's just been so long, okay?
Carmine has been gone for 3 months.
I just
at
don't.
my mama's house.
Like, I just couldn't. I could not.
Yeah. So I missed my babies. I was happy to see them. And yeah, that was really it.
Okay.
How was your week?
Give me a moment to consult with my brandy notebook. Okay, how I've been minding my business this week. Let's see. So work all winter, grind all summer. Yeah, I talk to myself in Drake. in Drake lyrics. But I think what that meant was because, the previous week it was a go for me. It was a go week. It was, I got to get all these things done. I'm going to hang out with my friends. And so this was the complete and total opposite. I was doing nothing. I did laundry. I folded laundry. I worked out and I slept and I ate. Not the healthiest eating this week, but we'll do better next week. But yeah, like it just, I'm really trying to get better at being able to switch gears when it's time to. Okay, if it's time to go, fine. I can hit the ground running with the best of them. He's a track star. But when but when it's time to take some time back, reflect, figure out what's my next step, kind of get my mind together.
Yeah.
I want to be able to actually live and exist in that space as well. And so I think one of the big things for me is that I've just never been able to exist in both places or switch so interchangeably like that. I'm either now I'm in the house for the next 6 months, hibernation tea, or I'm like, now, hot boy summer, let's go. And I'm just out there all the time. And so this is good. This is new. I have my grind periods, but I also have my rest periods. And so I really enjoyed this weekend doing nothing.
Yes.
I watched Coming to America. Yo. Okay. I have seen some of you guys' negative comments about the movie because it wasn't like the original movie. Let me tell you something. Okay, I think the original movie is so great because of your memories. And to be honest with you, on a whole psychological perspective, our memories are not 100% accurate. I think you will be hard pressed to get a memory that's about 55% accurate. And so what you're really thinking about is the good feels that you got when you watch the movie. And it's a completely different movie. It's a different time. You're a different person. You're an older adult, hopefully. Right. And so you're not going to feel the same way that you felt about the old movie. But in its own right, it was greatness. Okay? I'm here for the entire thing. I was going to say somebody else was minding their business this week, but let me tell you, the whole cast of Coming to America 2 was minding their business. It was just beautiful. I enjoyed the comedy. I enjoyed the dancing. I enjoyed the jokes. I love the wardrobe, honey. Tiana Taylor killed it, okay? Killed it, honey. Oh, yes, honey. Oh, and it was everything for me. Because I love her, okay? And so, get into it. Like, it's the business. Go support it. Support Black business, including us, because we are Black. And this is a business. It is. It takes work and hours, etc., blah, 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 blah. But yeah, so that was another part of my week. Let's see what else. I'm still riding high from my weekend with my homies.
You know what? Same. Caught it. Same.
Yes. Like, and so what that taught me is I just need more.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just need more. Because, like, y'all.
It felt good. It felt good.
It did.
Like, I'm over here like, oh, we going to brunch this week?
Boom.
Because the wedding is actually next week. I forgot to say that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we're going to brunch this weekend. Somewhere.
They at the turkey dam, they was doing this on the
table.
Oh,
the June bug challenge?
Yeah. So I was like, maybe we could go there.
Okay.
I mean, I showed Brandy. She seemed like she cool with it.
I'm about to say, just put a bleep right there.
Okay. But yeah, so still on a high.
Yeah.
I'm excited to do more. Because I don't have to wait until 3 months to do it. And every time it might not be a big blown out thing, but we could do brunch.
But you know what? I think that also comes from being in quarantine.
Oh, true.
And I'm saying that like COVID ain't still outside, but you know, got the vaccination.
True. And the CDC says we can go out.
And I'm gonna do it.
And we can be in house with no mask on, and so we're good. I'm kind of worried about the people who have not had the vaccine, but
that's why I got the vaccine. So I think that was a lot of why it felt good because we were able to go back to an environment that we hadn't been to in a year. We had been restricted from a club-like environment. And I think, honestly, I think that's really what felt good. Of course, fellowship and, you know, whatever with friends is always great. But I really just feel like it was that getting up, getting dressed, going out, getting
good,
cute.
Y'all gonna see it.
That's what it was.
It looks good.
That's what it was.
Snacks, meals, 7 courses, 29 courses.
Yeah.
So I'm still riding the high of that.
Okay.
I'm going to go to a game night with family on Saturday. I'm coming home with, hopefully we really do brunch because we may say we do a brunch, we may not do it. Hopefully we really do brunch Sunday, fun day.
Yeah.
And then I wake up and go to work on Monday. Yeah, fingers crossed. But yeah, and so that's still a thing. And I think the biggest thing, and it actually came this morning, like for some reason, I was feeling extremely inspired, and I was like dreaming the dream. Like I was just like, okay, y'all, I could see this podcast taking off. And I could see me and Lee starting a private practice. And we're gonna pull in our friends, and it's gonna be a multicultural practice. And it's gonna be people who look like you, who feel like you, who you can go to and who you can talk to. We're gonna be those people for you. We're gonna have like 2 to 3 times out of the week, we're going to have social gatherings so you can go out and enjoy yourself with people like you.
Right.
We're going to do these educational seminars. We're going to educate people. We're going to give them whatever they need to know to better their lives. We are going to make a difference. We're going to make a change. And I'm just like, I'm driving in the car like, yeah, this is great.
Yeah.
You know? And I don't know where it came from. I'm just grateful that it did. Because prior to this, and I'm still thinking about it, I'm not gonna lie. I've even taken a few classes to become a nurse practitioner. I was just like, you know what? Counseling may not be for me. Mm-hmm. I was like, I love counseling, but every job that I go to, it just doesn't quite fit. It's kind of like a nice shoe that you like. You put it on, and you be like, it's a little too big. Maybe my ankle too small, or maybe I ain't meant to wear these thigh high boots. But maybe I just have to create my own shoe.
And that's the thing.
And so that's the vibe. That's the vibe. I was just like, you know what? I think God has put me here. We can do this.
Yeah.
I give Lee ideas every day, all day, from cooking classes, like every day, all day. Like I want to do it. And I think we can do it.
Yeah.
And so, dreaming the dream. I was like, you know, I can see it. I can feel it. I feel that we're becoming it. Mm-hmm. And
yeah, we're navigating the water. Like we're trying to find our way, and it's hard when you have to work full time.
Bruh. So for my YouTube peoples out there, I mean, I'm not a YouTube person. Lee is. Apparently, a lot of people are. Maybe I missed the YouTube buzz.
Because anything you want to see, you can find on there. Mm. And Lord knows, I just be on there looking at random stuff.
Okay. So I finally got a chance to do some sort of editing for our first video. We said it was our debut. Our debut was technically 2 weeks ago. I'm going to get it up there. Okay, I'm working on it. We're going to have a YouTube channel. Hopefully, it's not just us on the podcast. Hopefully, it's seeing and getting an insight into Miss Lee's life, her makeup, her lashes, honey, them nails, like, you know. You want to see that. You want to see that. And, you know, I have a little bit of me. You know,
and maybe even just us like experiencing life.
Yeah.
Like almost kind of like vlogging. Like I want it to be multifaceted.
Right. Don't put us in no box. We ain't no box.
We don't do well in boxes.
We ain't no box. I bleeped it out for myself.
Yeah. Yeah. I like how you caught it.
Yeah. So, but it's going up. Lee's gonna upload it.
Yeah.
Today or tomorrow. Okay, no timeline, but she's gonna upload it. So yeah, that's been my week. Like, I'm figuring out what's next.
Right.
Like, I'm like, okay, this is good. But what next? What do I really want?
Getting ready for next.
Because I really want to walk in fabulous.
Yeah.
Talk to some fabulous people. Make a difference in somebody's world. And then what? Walk out fabulous. and go on these trips. See the world. Fabulous. I want to just be free.
That's the goal.
That's
the goal is to be free. Yeah. That makes me happy.
Yeah. Like I don't know where it came from. Because my morning meditation was about schedules.
Okay.
And you know, I happily sat down and did my deep breathing and listened. But yeah, that's what came up. And I was just like, okay, I'm grateful for it. For sure, for sure.
I'll take it.
So speaking of free, I bring up these people quite a bit. I have a thing for them apparently. And I ain't mad at it. Because they are free. They be traveling the world, twerking on them blues. They be living their best life. They be raising children just as free. Their children be making funny old lady faces. And I enjoy it. I'm talking about the Wades.
Why I was finna say Will and Jada?
Oh, I do talk about them quite a bit
I was
too.
like, Will and Jada.
You know, but they ain't done nothing. They ain't done nothing this
No,
week.
they haven't. Okay, so the Wades.
So the Wade. So this week, Gabrielle Union sent a beautiful message to Zaya Wade. I hope I got my names together.
I think that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, because she challenged me to get my names right. And I was like, well, I don't even have that many names. So the joke is on you. Okay?
How you feel?
Get your life. But yeah, she sent a beautiful message saying how proud she was that Zaya was standing in her truth. And I'm here for it all because I have been watching Zaya from the very beginning. And I know what it means to break out of a shell that the world put you in.
Mm-hmm.
And then stand and speak your own truth. The audacity, honey. Like, and that's what I just love about the whole thing. So she had an interview with Michelle Obama, whom I love, okay, worship and adore. Maybe not worship. We'll go with it. Whatever. Especially in that burgundy.
It was the wine.
They won, honey. They won. And they were talking about her book because she's released a different version of Becoming for younger adults.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so they did a small interview, and Michelle talked about what it meant to kind of be like, I didn't know who I wanted to be, what I wanted to be, and for some reason or another, I hadn't allowed myself the space to figure out who it was. And she was like, I'm so proud of you because you've allowed yourself to try on these different hats, jackets, shoes, clothes, wigs. Bye, wig. And figure out who you are. And y'all, we just talked about freedom. That's free.
Yeah.
That's
at a young
free.
age.
And I'm just here for it. I'm clapping for it. I'm giving 100% standing ovations for it, honey, because guess what? It took me 30 some odd years. You got it sooner, and I'm glad. Hopefully my kids or whomever follow behind me can get it sooner because I want my Black people to find their freedom. Men, women, I don't know, and in between, find your freedom.
I was going to say children, babies.
Yeah.
Whoever.
I was going to say dogs, but I was like, Black dogs.
Carmine's Black, so.
Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cultural identities.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's my person who's minding their business. I was just here for it. And I enjoyed it for sure. So Lee, who was minding their business this week for you?
Okay, so the person that's minding their business, we were going to talk about. I was going to say Meghan Markle.
Okay. Let's get into it.
Let's get into the RoyalTEA.
Because she's the only business in them streets, honey.
So I'm sure, if not by now, like we've all heard that Meghan and Harry, is his name Harry?
His name is Harry.
Harry, yeah. Because I was like, Henry.
That's just not a cute name.
It's not, but we're going to let him slide.
I'd be like, H-A-I or?
Oh, no, it's H-A-R-R.
But you got to differentiate and see when you say Harry, don't nobody know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So her and Harry did an interview with Oprah. And
shout outs to Oprah. I'm gonna tag you in this. Make us famous,
please. And in that interview, you know, they just talked about different aspects of them leaving as working members of the royal family, the tensions that were kind of in between. And I did not watch the entire thing just because I didn't.
Long.
And it was long.
Yeah, I watched it at work.
You watched the whole thing?
At work.
Oh well, yeah. How long was it?
Notes and looking.
How long?
It was like 2 hours.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
That's usually about how long they all are.
Yeah, it was long.
And I just, I just feel bad for Megan, but I'm proud of her for being classy because I think a lot of us in her shoes would have been very angry. Mm-hmm. Probably a little tad bit, a little disrespectful. Mm-hmm. And for her to still stay composed, she told the truth. She told her truth, but she didn't have to be ugly about it. Mm-hmm. She didn't seem angry. Like she had made peace with this. She's just telling us about it.
Okay, so this may sound like I'm being the devil's advocate, but I'm not really trying to. But
go ahead.
I do want to ask a question. Would she have been wrong if she was angry? And do we applaud her for not being the angry Black woman? And so I have a lot of conversations about this with a lot of my friends because they do not get the chance to show irritation, frustration, anger. They don't get to kind of be irritated by it or make a face because as soon as they do, people are so intimidated. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, she's so angry. It's the angry Black woman when she's just really telling you how she feels. And so does that have a place here in this conversation or is it just...
I mean, I think it definitely does. I totally agree that Black women do not get to have any emotion other than happy. And if you're anything less than, you are put into the caricature of the angry Black woman. Mm-hmm. This is ghetto. This is you being dramatic. This is you being mentally unstable. Whatever.
Ooh, honey.
And she has every right to be angry. She has every right. But what I loved was that you just seemed like you was at peace with it. Mm-hmm. Even if she wouldn't have been at peace with it, if she would have been, if we would have been able to see that she was not at peace with it, I still would have applauded her. Mm-hmm. Because your whole being is in front of the TV. Mm-hmm. Whether we want it to be or not. Everything about you. So for her to just kind of seem like she was like, this is what it is. Mm-hmm. That I think she also had some bomb support. Mm-hmm. Because her husband is going to protect her at all costs.
Yeah. And protect the queen.
Protect the queen.
At all costs.
You hear you?
So what resonates with me about her piece is you can tell that she's been through hell and back.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, at this point, I know that I can't allow myself to let anything else take me away from this piece.
Right.
So everything else that you got going on. And so that means the world to me because when you meet somebody who's been to the brink, and when I say the brink, suicidal ideation, not wanting to be here, thinking, you know what? It would just be so much easier if I took myself out of the equation.
Right.
For someone to be at that place and then come back, your peace and sanity means a completely different thing moving forward.
It does. It does. And, when I was listening to her talk and she was saying like, and none of this was a surprise. Mm-hmm. Let me say that first. None of this was a surprise.
I was going to ask you because...
I'm not surprised by any of the things that they said.
Okay.
But to hear this woman really... Because I can still hear... Because just because you're a piece of something does not mean that you still don't have emotions to it. And you know when she was talking about little baby Archie not getting a title or security. The title is one thing. The security, though, like, you're not going to even protect my child. That to me... That just did something to me. Like, that really bothered me. I ain't surprised.
I'm kind of surprised because, so at one point or another, I thought that in history, I would hear people moving to London, France. They would move to different countries to escape the racism that we had here in America. And so, in my head, we, all of these artists and different things, they're going over there to get away from this culture. I thought that things were better. Now, I didn't know how much better, but I just assumed that they had a better hold on being a multicultural country or more accepting. But I think what really was a big point that was driven home was the monarchy is completely different than you would expect. Like it's a whole institution within itself.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, so I've been really thinking, I've been dumbing this down, making this smaller, but the monarchy is a really big thing.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
it's a thing.
Okay.
And I just imagine too for Harry that had to be difficult because we all know what happened with Diana, with Princess Diana. Let me put some respect on her name. And that part. And for him to say like, she was too much like my mother. And I mean, I don't really care what anybody say. We all know that they killed Diana. Like, come on now. You didn't like her. You didn't like who she was. You felt she was a threat. She wrote down that she felt like y'all was gonna do something to her in her diary, in her journal. So I imagine that probably put him on high alert.
Mm-hmm.
I have to protect my wife. I have to protect my child at all costs. If that means I have to separate myself from you, whatever, he's always had his own identity anyway. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if that's because in theory he wasn't gonna get the
crown.
Yeah, he wasn't gonna get the crown. I don't know. But I just think anytime somebody has to separate themselves from family, that is a very big, that's hard to do.
Right.
Even when your family is toxic, as I don't know what, is still your family, that DNA still runs in you. And it can be difficult.
Yeah.
Because you
ain't got to tell me, honey.
Baby. Understand. You ain't got to tell me neither. So I'm just really proud of the way that they've handled the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean.
Because they look a mess. The royals look a mess. And you really didn't have to say nothing. We already knew. Anybody who said they don't know, that you just don't want to know. You know though. And
God forbid something would have happened to her. Because now I was shocked by the fact that she had asked for help. She had literally went to them, said, hey, I'm having these thoughts. I don't really want to be alive. And the response was, we've all been through it. We all go through it. There's nothing that we can do. This is just the way that things are. Now, I was surprised by that.
I'm not.
No?
No. Look at them.
Yeah.
Look how they look.
I mean.
Like, old and decrepit.
Yeah, true. Because I was like, what they look like? Because they ain't get no 5-star
mess.
review.
Honey.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, so that to me, it was just something about that. Archie not getting the title of security. Like, y'all really that's really how y'all acting?
That's really how we feel.
Like, the queen keep damn corgis. The corgis probably have a title before the baby have a title. And that's an animal.
Corgis are cute.
They're adorable, but that's an animal. This is a whole ass baby. You're not gonna. The corgis have security. Is what I'm getting at. And this baby not gonna have security. What you mean? That's just crazy. Y'all just wanted somebody to take his ass out.
Oh yeah, and shout out to Tyler Perry. Shout out to Tyler Perry. So when they didn't have a place to go, well, they had a place to go,
right?
But they Tyler Perry offered his home and security to them. That's where they stayed for 3 months until they got on their feet.
Good.
And I was just like, you know what? Shout out, okay? You ain't even family, but you treat me like family.
Right.
Like, that's the type of love and loyalty that you just can't pay back.
Right.
You'd be forever grateful. And so, shout out, man. You was minding your business.
He was.
And apparently others, and it was a good reason to be minding somebody else.
So, yeah.
What else? What else popped up?
I have something that I want to talk about.
What? Hold on. I didn't even share all my... Let me check my Brandy book.
Why you get your Brandy book is quick?
Okay, fine.
See how we got to go by the Brandy book? For one, I got something to say.
Okay. So my last thing. Can we...
Go ahead.
So my only thing is, and I encourage all of the people, including myself, who's listening to this podcast, is to better think about what you're stepping into. And so I've talked about phases. I've talked about knowing why you're in a particular phase. I think it's important that you think about where you're going. Because one thing that Megan said in the interview that kind of caught me off guard, and it's why you need a counselor like me and Lee who's gonna ask you some of the tough questions.
That part.
Is because she said I hadn't thought about what it would be like to be royal. She hadn't thought about it, hadn't visualized it. And so my thing is this, like, I ain't even from there. I don't know much about the
there.
Yeah. But what I do know is that there's a difference in cultures.
Yeah.
And there's an extreme difference in formality. Yeah. I'm a very informal person. I'm coming in, I'm taking off my shoes. I'm talking loud, I'm laughing, I'm hollering across the room. I'm dancing in the flow. I'm a very informal person. Mm-hmm. I know I couldn't act like that there. And so it just kind of caught me off guard that she hadn't thought about that. And one thing that I want to encourage all of us to do is we may not know all of the details about what we're walking into, but we can at least take the time and be accountable for some things and think about, okay, this is what I'm walking into.
Yeah.
I already know that we're dating and we're already having issues about race. I'm already seeing the headlines discussing my race. I'm seeing how they're treating me and what's the other, the white lady? The white princess lady, Duchess? Kate Middleton.
Kate Middleton. They were hard on her.
Even,
and her sister.
They compared the headlines. Girl, I was floored. I was hot.
Oh, yeah.
Because they just...
Oh, yeah.
It was just it was evident what was going on. And so I think it's extremely important that we really be conscious about the steps we're taking to move forward. And I'm not blaming her.
Right.
This is just saying moving forward.
You need to be cognizant.
Yes. Of where I'm going and what I'm going to be doing there and how other people may respond to me. I know I'm a gay black male. Mm-hmm. I know not everybody's going to take me as I am or as I want to be perceived.
Right.
Some people don't like me. Some people love me. I already got that covered. I know where I'm walking into, and I know how I need to adjust for my safety, for my well-being, for my mental health. I know where you need to get to, how close you need to get. And sometimes I'm wrong. Sometimes you can get a little closer. But most of the time I'm right. Okay? And I just think we should think about that.
You should always think
about
that.
And that kind of, I'm pretty sure her circle told her, Meg.
Maybe they didn't. Depends on who her circle is.
Okay. That's a good point. Because I know my people calling me out. They're like, now, Jordan, because when you go here, what's going to happen when they do this? Or what about this? And so I just wish that some of those hard questions would have been asked beforehand. Not stopping you from marrying him or becoming royal and blah, blah, blah. But just so you could be more equipped to handle what was brought to your doorstep.
Right.
That's all I had to say. That was a long rant. I'm sorry. But it was neat. Because we need to know what rooms we stepping into. I'm going to have a chair at the table either way. Even if I'm pulling up
a chair.
But let me tell you something. When I'm sitting down at the table, I know who you are and what you're about. I don't at least Googled you.
Right. Well, today is...
International Women's Day!
And y'all see how I tried to bring it up and Jordan just cut me off earlier? See, that's what it's like. No. So today is International Women's Day. Oh, Lord. International Women's Day. It is March 8th, 2021. And I have not reflected on just being a woman at all today, honestly. But in this past week, I have had 2 instances where I found myself saying, you as a black woman, why would you say that to me? Both instances were at work, of course. And one time somebody was telling me that I was not good enough to be a therapist.
I almost want to ask who, but I'm letting
Friend,
you
you
know.
walked in. You walked in, and we was having the conversation. We're trying to whisper over the mic.
I ain't really worried.
Okay, don't even worry about it. I'm gonna just put it on here for you. Don't
It's
even worry about it.
cool.
But yeah, so somebody telling me that I'm not good enough. Oh shit! See, there goes my second cuss word. To be a social worker or whatever, and I'm not, not good enough to be a therapist. And blah 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 blah. And it really enraged me. Like I didn't give it much emotion in the moment, but I give everything. I give my all to my job.
Y'all. She's good.
Like, thank you.
She's good.
Like, I really go to bat for my patients. Like, I be like steaming hot mad when their needs are not met, when they're not getting the best care that they should get, and it just kills me how in the workplace, especially, this is where I have felt it the most. We are the ones that tell each other we're not good enough. It's us. And that's not to shy away from the different issues that come up in the workplace or racial inequalities, because both can exist at the same time. But I'm not talking about them. There's HR for that, sort of. There's HR for that. But like everything, I service predominantly Black and brown women. This is in Black and brown men, as well as other races, white men, Asian, whatever comes to the jail. But this is why I do this job, because there needs to be more of us to look out for us, to take care of us, to make sure that medications are not gypped over, or that, we notice certain medical concerns that go on and we need to make sure that you get help.
Because the therapists that have this, we're not on the forefront.
Understand. They ain't putting us nowhere.
It takes a lot for us to get here. It takes a lot for us for you to see our face. And so I hear a lot about, Black therapists. They aren't really there. They're hard to find. We are hard to find. You have to find us. You you got to dig.
You have to Google
to find us, because we are hard to find. Because it takes a lot to climb to get here.
Right. And so, like that really just, it bothered me. And things don't usually just bother me like that, but that really, really, really bothered me.
Okay, so that brings up a really important point. So I was talking to a friend, and they was like, I'm not really there for Meghan Markle or what. It was something like, I don't believe her, but I don't know. I don't feel bad for her. I feel bad for Harry. And I said, that right there is the problem. I was like, because you as a Black woman should be supporting her and give her the ear that you're giving Harry. Harry sat up in that interview for what, 20, 30 minutes?
Yeah. Because it was really barely an interview with Meghan Markle.
Right. Barely that. But I was like, what about it? What about it being a Black woman that makes you automatically discount what she's saying and not feel sorry for her, thinking that she created this. This is of her own doing. Even Wendy Williams. And Wendy, how you doing? Wendy, I generally try to support you, but you saying that she like finagled this and finessed this, like, girl, ain't nobody finessing to this level.
That's what I got.
Like, don't nobody want all of that. Like, I might want the coins, but I ain't want all of this. And so on social media, I see a lot of people saying a lot of different things. I ignore most of it, but I do want to speak out on the fact that there's a lot of people that discount our voices. Every day, all day. Mm-hmm. The last thing that I want is to come to my sister Lee and say, hey, I experienced this sort of racism, or I experienced this kind of hurt, or this kind of trauma. And she'd be like, that line, because blah, 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 blah. It just hurts even more.
It does. It does. And then, skipping to the next incident.
Yeah.
You know, I was
Because that first incident, the person, oh, mess it up. I can't hold no. The person who said it don't even qualify. You know, on the Housewives of Atlanta, back in the day, one of the house husbands said, "You don't even qualify to address my wife," and I feel exactly the same way. Your credit card is declined, honey. Your bank account has insufficient funds, honey. Try again. You don't qualify. Your credit score ain't high enough. Try again. Go to another therapist. Sorry.
So there was that incident, and I know that sometimes we say things jokingly and blah, 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 blah. And I understand, like, there's this thing between mental health professionals and, you know, almost like a competition or whatever. And so it's lighthearted, but, you know, I'm very cautious of the way that I speak on Black people in front of other people. Regardless if race is brought up or not, I'm very, very cautious. It's some things I won't even talk about.
I generally don't joke because I feel like between or behind every joke is a little bit of truth.
Yeah, otherwise the joke don't stick.
It ain't my type of, it ain't my G.
It ain't my thing. I swear to God it ain't. And so there was that, and then there was an incident where I was informed that basically I was being called a hoe. With no sustenance, no nothing, just because of who I am and my personality. I'm friendly, I'm bubbly, I love to talk to people. I love being nice. Like, I just like there's not enough nice people in the world. And I'm not even saying that on no, ooh, pat me on the back type stuff. I'm just saying, I just like being nice. It takes so much energy to be ugly. Like, that's not me. And so this person was just talking to some other random person who probably wouldn't know my name if you said it. And it got back to me. And I'm like, you know, is it jealousy? You don't even know me.
Yeah.
Like, you really don't even know me. Like, you couldn't even say my name. You had to say my position and who I work for to make it stick. So why are you talking about me? You know, and this is somebody that I'm pretty sure that I've seen and has spoken to me. And, you know, now I just feel like the next time you speak to me, I'm going to really be like, what you speaking to me for?
I like to hit a Nene. All I got for you
I mean, I ain't going to say that. But it just kills me how you're speaking on me and you really don't even know me. You're lying.
Yeah.
And you know that you're lying. And you don't care. But then the same people that be like, yes, queen, Black girl magic on Facebook, social media. But when it's time to apply those principles of yes, queen, congratulating your sister, being proud of your sister, uplifting your sister.
Or just not even talking bad about your sister.
Just shutting
up.
Just
shutting up.
You know,
like I ain't asking for the world, honey. Sometimes I'm just asking you to walk the other way when people gossiping. Period. Mm-hmm. It ain't that hard.
Right. So that just kind of was my thing on like with it being National Women's Day. Like I know a lot of times, we as women, and especially we as Black women, brown women, whatever, we face a pretty low glass ceiling. Like, it ain't even high. It's pretty low. Like, I be bumping my head on it. But I think that it's just important that as women that we remember that we have to treat each other right as well. A lot of things, I'm not going to say start with us, but they're perpetuated by us. And people tell you all the time, like, I don't work with women. I don't like working with women, and this is why. It's very catty. It's very emotionally charged. And I just don't be for it.
Yeah.
Because me, I'm really like, so you trying to fight outside? And I can't be like that. But that's really how to make you feel. You know? Yeah. So, just, you know, as a woman, trying to uplift other women. And I'm not perfect. I'm not even saying that I am. But I know it's two things I don't do. I don't tell other women that they're not good enough. And I don't spread lies. So.
Speaking of both of those things, Chloe.
Who's that?
Chloe.
Oh, Chloe. I was going to say Kardashian. Chloe.
No,
Chloe.
Not that one.
Chloe.
I don't know their last name. I just know it's Chloe
Bailey.
And Halle. Okay. Oh, that's cute.
Chloe and Halle Bailey.
Two
first names.
Yeah. Okay. So Mr. Knowles was giving an interview or doing a interview with a radio or podcast personality.
Yeah, something like lemonade,
Mhm.
lemonade or something.
And somebody asked a question of stating that we compare, or some people have been comparing Chloe to an early Beyonce. What do you think? And bro went off. He went left, right, up, down, round, spiraled, tetragon.
I would have kicked him off the show, baby. You giving me too much.
He never left the subject. He continued to say, "Are you serious? Are you serious right now?
What idiot? Are you telling me that an idiot?" I'm like, "Talk on the show. You ain't even really just relevant like that, baby. I just needed a spot filled, and you was available."
And so, with all due respect, because you are the queen's father, so you got to have a seat. You know, you're doing the Beyonce class at TSU. You've done some great things with rearing those girls. I'm assuming, and I'm using that very lightly. But I do need you to kind of back up. As simple as a no comment. As simple as I'm releasing a CD, 24 tracks, freestyle. Catch me on 97.9 The Box. Like, you could have changed the subject.
He could have redirected.
You could have did anything. But to bring down an artist that your daughter has handpicked.
Yeah.
To follow in her legacy, to celebrate, is a disgrace and a dishonor to the queen and the king. She's both. Beyonce.
The queen.
If you loved her and respected her, you would have knew to shut your mouth. Cállate la boca.
Ooh.
You wasn't
good.
ready. Because I know she's somewhere thinking about, why is my dad?
Of all people. Of all people on God's green earth.
That I done dropped a long time ago. Like, let's not, you ain't like actively managing
She
her.
barely like you.
Like.
Seem like.
You know, with all your stuff, your business, and I ain't trying to bring it up, dredge to it, it ain't mine. But, sir, I just need you to mind yours.
That's it.
Leave Chloe alone. She tried to do the up challenge. She had them shorts pulled all the way up there. Yeah. Just let her do her thing.
Because it's the irrelevancy for me. Like, you know, he just gave it so much energy.
Kind of like he knew maybe this would be the story that everybody would catch on.
To me, I felt like he went so hard to be relevant.
Okay. I can see that.
Like, I want to make it to the shade room. I need my name to pop. So
yeah.
I'm whether it's good or bad, I'm going to do it to get a reaction. And that's what it felt like to me when I was reading the article. I was just kind of like, yeah, you really being dramatic, bro. Because you could have just said, I don't know, and went on about your, you know, whatever. Went on about your whatever else y'all have to talk about, but there is nothing else to talk about with you.
I can't think of that.
Who is you managing? John B. All right.
But I will interview you on our podcast.
But don't come over here with all that, because I ain't for it.
And if you do talk bad about us, just add us.
Yeah, just add us when you talk bad about us so people click the link. All, you know, however many followers you have.
Yeah, so that's one person who needs to mind their business. Because
yeah,
I was
definitely needs
I think that Chloe, I mean, I understand. I think Chloe's a wonderful young woman. I don't know her personally. I don't know her personal life. It ain't meant for me to know that. That's not what she shows.
Correct.
Cool with me. I understand that we have personas in life, and some personas you show outwardly, and then the persona that I show Lee may be a little bit more intimate, a little bit more vulnerable. That's how we work. That is a protector thing. Okay? Period. Point blank. So I even think that Disney sees enough in her. And you know, Disney, they put their money where their mouth is. Okay?
Wait, Disney has Chloe or Hallie?
Chloe.
Okay, so let me just say, because that's what I thought.
Yeah.
But then I remember when she did the Busted Challenge.
Oh, no.
And everybody was saying, like, Hallie want to do it, but she got that contract with Disney. Now, I remember Chloe was supposed to be Ariel.
Maybe it is Hallie.
But then in the thing we read today, it said Hallie was going to be Ariel. I'm like, how you just going to switch who going to be Ariel?
Maybe it is Hallie then.
I don't know. I just
fact check the article. We'll do that.
Yeah, because they had, even in the picture, they had which one was which wrong. They was like, so-and-so left, so-and-so right. I'm like, baby, what is she doing? That's why you had Sir on your show yelling and hollering.
True. Because he was just confused.
He was doing right. It's probably starting to set in. So, yeah.
All right. Well, who minding their business this week for you? Or who needs to mind their business this week for you?
The Queen.
No. But, okay, so in every part of the interview, they always said that the Queen was... Okay.
Because my thing is, the Queen has the power to shut all that up.
Now, that's a good point. And that's what she continued
like y'all
to
said about
bring
Justin
up.
Timberlake the other week.
That's what she continued to bring up, is that they did not protect me.
And keep in mind, she did send a text telling them not to embarrass them. So you knew that there was things out there. My thing is, when you have the power to protect, I think you should utilize it depending on the situation.
When you have the ability to tell the truth and make a difference, why not?
Yeah, this is your great-great-grandson that we're talking about here. This is your blood. And you don't feel anything to protect him, you're not going to give my man security? Mm-hmm. Like, the corgis got security, but not the baby.
Not ours.
I just feel like that says a lot about you.
Not that little brown boy.
So I need you to go ahead and mind your business, whatever that look like. It's probably time people go sit down anyway, Mama.
Yeah, have some tea and crumpets. Just chill.
Crumpets. What are crumpets? The little ziggly donuts?
You ain't asking me because I don't know.
Oh wait, those are crullers. I don't know what a crumpet is. Let me look it up. I just want to see what it looks like.
So yeah, I guess that's it. This is the end. While you Google your crumpets. Lee has a tangent that she wants to go on about y'all liking, sharing.
Yes, let me tell y'all though. A crumpet is a small griddle cake made from unsweetened batter of water, milk, and flour. Just dry as hell. Yeah, so
it kind of makes me think of a tea cake, but I don't really know what a tea cake is either.
I have one. You want to taste it?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
You really have a tea cake?
Yeah, I brought it back from home.
What? So is it sweet?
Lightly.
Okay, so they put a little sugar in it.
I don't know what they put in there. I don't eat them.
You don't eat them, but
nope.
You have them with
because
you.
My dad forced me to take it.
Oh.
Yeah. And I didn't want to be mean.
My dad loves tea cakes. And I love that he loves tea cakes. That's all.
Okay. So, real quick, y'all. We're really trying to work hard to build our platform, get our listeners up, and you guys are our biggest assets. So
yes.
When you listen, we need you to share because of course we get a view from your listen, and we're so grateful.
Grateful.
But it stops there.
Stop.
So if when we post our links, we need you to share the links so that the people that you're friends with that are in your network, whatever, that we're unable to reach, they're getting that.
Yeah.
Because we're not able to reach them, even when we advertise and boost our stuff or whatever. People, word of mouth is the best thing ever.
Yeah.
If I know that you listen to it, that makes me want to listen to it 10 times harder than just something that randomly pops up on my timeline, and I'm like, what is this? And I keep scrolling. So definitely share. I know that y'all probably are telling people about it, but we need you to share so that it's making its way. So that it's making its
supposed to be so loud.
So that it's making its way to different populations, because that is how we're going to grow. So yeah.
Yeah, and so we're 5-star blurts. Because on Apple we have 5 stars, we have 7 ratings. One of them may or may not be Lee, but that does not matter because You know, she meant well
I don't give a damn.
when she rated herself. But I just wanted to read this one, and maybe we'll go for it. Moving forward, we can read some. But this one says, this podcast is necessary. Period. If you made it through 2020, which if you're listening, you are alive, so you made it. This podcast is what you need to get your mind right in 2021. Come on, get your mind right. Jordan is just a little positive spark that I keep in my pocket and my AirPod on the days I need to find my calm. Okay?
Aww.
Check it out. Check it out. Okay. The next one, and my last one. I might read the third one, because we only got 3. But, you know.
3? You had to tell everybody.
Okay. No, but 3 people write. So write a comment, y'all. Don't just press the star. I mean,
press the star, comment,
yeah,
and share.
Like,
y'all support Black business.
Please. Okay. Love this podcast. This is the funniest podcast out there. Leandria be saying everything you're thinking. I love the vibe. It's like talking with your friends. And the last one from Patman. He sounds familiar, but I don't know the guy. These podcasters open up and lay it all out there with their personal experiences and intertwining expert advice.
Ooh.
Exclamation point. So y'all, if you love us,
show us.
Show us. Share it, like it.
We are so thankful for your support. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart.
Yes.
We are so thankful. Every listen, every time.
And I'm counting all of them, okay?
Yeah, Jordan be like, baby, we up 1.
I check it every second.
But in order for us to grow, we grow through you. We can post the funniest stuff, the best content, but we grow through you. So please, 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 when we say like, share, comment, rate, because that's what helps boost us so that we can continue to give y'all premium content. We really want this to grow. We want to be able to start doing seminars and classes and brunches, meet and greets.
Yes, Lord.
But we can't do that. We can't do that if we don't have the support. So yeah, that's really what that means the world to us when you do those things for us.
All right. Love y'all. Be good.
Love you.
Have a good week.
See you next week. Oh. Okay, Grant, it's over.
You gotta hold it.
I'm not holding it there.